Hey guys, I know I promised this a little bit ago, but I delayed a bit. I've been sick with the flu, that's why I haven't been streaming. So yeah, I'm just gonna record this real quick to get it out and have something going on. This is my revised peaks tier list. I'm adding the two new characters, Saizou and Loreley, who both happen to be very good. Before I go into the tier list, I do want to say one thing. Um, Based on how the rewards work for peaks, the goal is not to place very high. The goal is actually to end up positive on your score. It means that your gems, you want to get a good reward on them. Really, all you need to do on that is get 7 wins. Getting 7 is not terribly hard as long as you follow this list, but anything higher than that, honestly, it's gonna be luck. It really is pure luck in what you fight because you're running against other people doing crazy stuff. Let me show you how I did. I did terribly this week, and I didn't lose with bad teams. Look at this team. This is not a bad team. I've got pretty good heroes. There was Look at this one. Like, how did I lose with this team? I don't know, but somehow, bad luck and everything. So really, any getting to 10 is a lot more luck after 6 or 7 wins. So as long as you get to 7 wins, you're doing fine. 7 wins is a great place to be, and honestly, I don't care about the end reward so much as I care about getting my 7 wins every single time. Um, so with that being said, let me go into the tier list here. Um, so, so let me go into the changes. No, let's review it again, but I'll also outline what I changed. So for Warrior, Walnir stays top. He is a very solid tank. The main change that I made to Warrior is that I moved Nameless King down a little bit and Paladin up. That's the only change I made. Um, I found that Nameless King's damage just doesn't do that well unless he's supported by a lot of other good warriors or um, you built a good aura around him. He doesn't single-handedly change the flow of everything. So he's strong, but he's not good enough to change the flow of the game on his own. Not like some of the other major tiers. Um, Everything else stays pretty much about the same. Grand with his focus with his change, he might actually be a little bit higher. I haven't played too much with him since he was buffed. His new buff is that when he gets hit, he returns damage to the entire front line, which could make him a little bit better. I actually haven't seen, so I don't know. For clerics, a lot of changes in clerics. Now, Mega is still a very strong early 5 star. Where the heck is he? So he's still very good. The problem is now that everybody's learning how to play, he no longer overpowers with his healing and damage like he used to. So unfortunately, having a whole team of Megas is no longer as powerful as it was before. And so I had to drop his tier a little bit because he's just not as good anymore. I also moved Ultima down. Ultima was kind of a surprise one. I didn't expect Ultima to be so good before, but right now, not that great, I think. Um, I moved Vivienne down because honestly, she does great healing, but she just doesn't do any damage. She's never done good damage, and she's very slow for a cleric. So really, she just didn't. She just lost her spot in the top tier. That's all. I moved Corvin Messenger way up because the more that I played with Corvin Messenger, the more he seriously was at the top of my damage list. So this guy is amazing damage, and yeah, if you build like a team of 3 or 4 of these guys, it would do pretty good. I also removed Foreign because honestly, Foreign just is bad. I can't seem to find him. There he is. Foreign is just bad. His freeze is unreliable. His heal is terrible, and his damage is nothing special. So I got rid of him. Assassins, what I've done was I added Saizou. Saizou is crazy. His regular attack is does it hit two people? Yeah, it hits two people. His regular attack actually is where a lot of his damage comes from, because of his extra. It's two people plus a bunch of extra damage. But the crazy thing is his skill. His skill will often kill someone. If you can pair him with Bale, oh my gosh, it's nuts. But even without Bale, you will often see that his damage is at the top of your entire team, like a couple of times over. So he turned out to be really, really good in this mode. Other thing is Zexanoth no longer can be tank. He lost his, because he was changed recently, they called it a buff. And it was kind of a buff, but he lost the ability that when he gets hit, he drops their energy. So because of that, he's not a good tank anymore. So now all he is a damage dealer, a really good damage dealer, and that's pretty much it. So he's a good damage dealing assassin, but nothing better. Not really tank material, but still got decent HP. So if you have really nothing better, you can use him, but don't expect anything special out of him. I keep forgetting Shaman Assassin, so finally I remembered to add him. He doesn't have anything special. I don't understand, but he survives really well as a tank. I couldn't tell you why, but so he's there as a usable tank alternative. Plus, he hits multiple people. He hits the entire backline, so he does decent damage as well. Addition to this is Earthbound. This is a guy that, where is he here? This guy acts like a mini Akash. When he fires his skill, he buffs up all your assassins. So he's there if you have an assassin team, he can make it a little bit stronger. He's not as good as Akash because Akash stuns. Speaking of Akash, he was moved up to top tier because he's amazing. He doesn't do amazing damage on his own, but his backlines stun with decent speed and decent probability. I had to put him up there. So yeah, assassins do really good here. For Wanderers, honestly, there's no change to Wanderers. Wanderers turn out to be a very difficult team to make a team around. A lot of the Wanderers have decent damage. The Wanderer aura reduces damage taken and increases damage dealt. But a lot of the Wanderers are pretty bad, so it's not easy to make a good Wanderer aura, especially because Mars is not that amazing at 5 stars. The only change that I made is that Chemical Butcher can act as a tank, because when he's hit, he has a chance to poison the enemy, similar to Golem. That's pretty much about it. So Wanderers, nothing special. Mages. Okay, so mages, we have a new hero, Loreley. Her thing is that she has a bonus that gives her energy, NAG, and so she can fire her skill first turn. So if you get a bunch of her, you don't need to keep re-rolling for energy artifacts. And plus, if you get... No, the mages will need speed, so she'll need a couple of speed buffs, but she does do quite a bit of damage. She reduces their speed, she heals your team. She heals your team's status. And yeah, she does do very, very good damage. If you have a bunch of Loreleys, you can really wipe people out on turn 1. So she turned out to also be very good. Other thing is, people mentioned that Aurel, for some reason, even though her skill says she silences people, it never actually processed. So I replaced her with Belial because Belial petrifies and his thing actually goes off. So that's about it for mage changes. So overall, this image, my tier list, is readily available on my Discord. You're free to get it and download it from there and spread it around. Like I said, it's not a guarantee to get you to 10 wins every time, but the only thing that you need is to get to 7, and anything past that is gravy. As long as you get past 7, you're getting amazing return on your gems, and that's really what's important at the end of the day, isn't it? So, that being said, good luck with your peaks runs. Hope you have better luck than I did. Competition on Apple servers, the iOS servers, is much, much easier than on Android servers. As you can see, you need you need 490 points to get to the top here, and even to get to the top 100, like, you got to have over 400 points. I think you got to have 400 points just to get in the top 300 now. Scores are just getting higher and higher and higher as because we're facing pretty much everybody. So, like I said, end ranking doesn't matter that much to me. It's only the individual scores, and I'm doing good enough at that. So I hope this tier list helps you, and see you next time.